I'm Christopher Herring. I'm the Executive Director for Global Chamber San Antonio. I also work with the steering group for Global Chamber Texas. We're so excited to have you here today. Today we thought it would be great to have almost like a lunch and learn series for our members and for our Global Chamber members across the world. It's so important for us to be able to open up our markets so that you clearly understand who we are, and also what we can do with you in our quest to do more business with you. Today I have a very great new board member of our Global Chamber San Antonio who will be giving a presentation about her life in the Czech Republic. But before I do that, I'm gonna share with you some of our slides from the Global Chamber San Antonio, because I want you to know that we have a great opportunity to help you if you are in the San Antonio marketplace. So let me just bring up my slides. Okay. All right, so share. All right, so Global Chamber San Antonio, I'm the Executive Director, Christopher Herring. We, as a global chamber, are probably the largest chamber in the whole world. We have 525 metropolitan regions that we focus on with 195 countries around the world. It's great. The metro markets enable us to be able to have reach, to connect, to have access, exposure with so many people who are business people across the world. We're excited to be able to share this vision that our founder, Doug Brunke, had created with a group of business leaders to create this global chamber. We are very excited about the vision for 2025, which is to truly to be the chamber that has the ability to communicate across 525 of the most powerful regions across the world. When you join Global Chamber, you will receive connections, access to people. And when I mean access to people, you know, in our directory, our membership directory, whether a person is from Africa or from Asia or from the US, we all have the same ability to connect with each other. So that's really one of the most exciting things that I found personally when I first joined the Global Chamber. To be able to bring new members in and just to say, hey, you can make your own connections without having to get the blessings from an executive director or a president. You can do it really on your own to a certain degree. We also provide warm introductions as a part of your membership. And I sincerely would ask that you would look at what we have to offer. The website's there, www.globalchamber.org. We also have, I think, and if you're a business person, you really want to tap into our events calendar. The events calendar is also on globalchamber.org. We have the most events across the world that's showing every single day. Our events, we call them globinars, but then other brands may call them webinars. But if you see any information about a globinar, it's an information session that's going to provide you with information about how do you grow your business and how you do business internationally. And right now, we're expanding. Our chair-elect, Jorge Canavati, has been helping to look at 2021. We're already thinking forward, and we'll be recognizing, in fact, our current chairwoman, Crystal Nerio, Dr. Crystal Nerio, as we have our International State of the Metro event. We're so grateful to the mayor of San Antonio, Ron Nirenberg, who will be presenting and talking about San Antonio's leadership in this world community. In fact, Mayor Nuremberg was the chair of Sister Cities International, and he did a fabulous job. And we would like to hear more of his story. But also, as he led our world's market, he was able to connect San Antonio with so many different parts of the world. And again, we're going to hear more of the mayor's conversation this Friday, October 2nd at 10 a.m. Central Time. Please join and get your tickets to that event. We will have the opportunity to recognize my original chairwoman, Dr. Nerio. She was with us when we first formed the Global Chamber. She's done a fabulous job, and the board's going to be able to say thank you in a formal way. Some of our upcoming events that I'm really excited about, board member Jane Gonzalez will be talking more about how she has uncovered some secrets that every city, every county, every state needs to know about in terms of second stage companies. Jane has been a visionary, but she's also been very strategic in how to help lift up companies that may not be getting the right attention. After COVID-19, we really need to have more emphasis on supporting our businesses and helping them where they are right now. The marketplace is really hard all over the world. I think that you'll hear some very revolutionary things that Jane Gonzalez will say about second stage companies. Who are they? And then how do we build more capacity for them? We also have an event. It's similar to this event with the International Virtual Business Networking with the African series. And I'm looking forward to connecting some of our African business members into San Antonio. Likewise, we've had a successful event most recently with our San Antonio International Airport, and then talking about how do you travel in during this COVID-19, and then what has happened with the airlines, what improvements have they made. We've got a lot of information from Tom Bartlett, who is the Deputy Director of the City of San Antonio's International Airport. And then we also had great information from Jennifer Jenks with Delta and Aero Mexico. Let me just tell you this, we do have a recording of that presentation. And if you'd like to hear more about it, you can always feel free to ask. We'll send it to you, the link. It was great, timely information that every business traveler should have. And lastly, we also talked about, in one of our education series, was the surprising resilience of U.S. trade during the COVID-19 lockdown. Peter Grabick, who is a board member of Global Chamber San Antonio, did a wonderful job presenting information about the emerging new trends in our marketplace that not only serves the U.S. market, but even the global marketplace. So with that being said, I want you all to make sure that you go to globalchamber.org. If you haven't looked at our memberships range from, I think it's like maybe $25 for a student up to our corporate memberships. There's a price point for you there. Additionally, we have sponsorship opportunities. So if you'd like to sponsor an event like today's event, you can feel free to invest your coin, and you'll get the visibility as we market our events through the Global Chamber community. All right, so those are my administrative notes. I'm excited today because we have Monika Prochazkova. Help me, Monika.
Prochazkova?
Yes. And Monika and I met in a Global Chamber Denver meeting. It was a meeting that enabled us to connect. We actually were dining in Colombia, even though we weren't really in Colombia. It was a virtual dining experience. And Monika stood out because she said she was in San Antonio, and I was wondering why. Well, let me read you her bio real fast so she can get into her presentation. But Monika is the Director of Client Development at Inclusive Surrogacy. Monika assists international clients throughout the complex surrogacy process in the US. She previously worked for governmental and non-governmental agencies where she has helped small and mid-sized business experts to foreign markets. Her background in diplomacy and international relations has brought her experience in mediation and advocacy, which she applies to build relationships between parties and to overcome cultural and language differences. Originally from Czech Republic, she studied languages and business in Prague, Czechoslovakia, in the UK, in Chicago, Illinois. Monika has a bachelor's degree in diplomacy from the College of International and Public Relations, Prague, and a master's in international business from the Metropolitan University in Prague. She now resides in San Antonio, Texas. She's a part of the Global Chamber of San Antonio. And Monika, you have a great presentation lined up for us. What are you going to teach us today about the Czech Republic?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for the introduction. And as you mentioned, I'm originally from the Czech Republic, so I would like to share some insights and some of the key sectors and business opportunities in the Czech Republic.
Great.
So let me share my screen.
Okay, we can see it.
Perfect. So welcome everyone. Good morning or good afternoon. So let's get started with Czech Republic. So the Czech Republic attracts a lot of tourists, professionals, and investors from all over the world. So you might have already heard about the country or maybe even visited it yourself. So I would like to give you a little taste of the Czech Republic and take you to Prague through this short video. So Prague, as I mentioned, is the capital and the largest city, and it has been considered as one of the most beautiful cities in the world since the Middle Ages. So its rich history makes it a popular tourist destination. It hosts over 8 million international visitors a year and belongs to the top 5 most visited cities in Europe. The Czech Republic has the most castles in the world. So there are over 2,000 castles and chateaus, and actually the Prague Castle makes the largest castle complex in the world. Okay. So we can find famous monuments all around the Prague and also across the country. You can visit UNESCO heritage sites, natural parks, spa towns, or even go hiking in the mountains. I could definitely keep going, and talk more about the nature and places to visit, but let's move to the business opportunities that this country offers. So first, let's start with the general information. The Czech Republic is located in Central Europe. It borders Germany, Poland, Slovakia, and Austria. Its size can be compared to South Carolina. It has over 10.6 million people. The spoken language is Czech. The currency used is Czech crown, and it's situated in the European Central Time Zone, which is 6 hours ahead of New York. Okay, so I do hear quite often that people refer to the Czech Republic as Czechoslovakia. So I would like to give a brief history about the country. So Czechoslovakia was established in 1918. The first president, Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, is still considered the greatest figure in the Czech history. During his time, the relationship between Czechoslovakia and the United States were very close, also thanks to his wife, who was American. During the Second World War, the country was occupied by Germany, but unlike other European countries, its infrastructure and industry was not destroyed during the war. After the war, in the late 40s, the country was under the Soviet influence with a centrally planned economy. In late 1898, after the peaceful Velvet Revolution, the power was handed over to new democratic government, and Václav Havel became the first president. On January 1st, 1993, Czechoslovakia was peacefully split into two independent countries, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. In 2016, the Czech government also added the new official name of Czechia. So now you can see both names being used. The country has always been involved in international organizations. It was admitted to the OECD as the first Central and Eastern European country in 1995. It's been the member of European Union since 2004. In terms of business environment, the country has a stable socioeconomic and political environment, the strategic location, quality infrastructure, and a long history of manufacturing, as well as skilled and well-educated workforce, have been attractive for investors. The country has the lowest unemployment rate in the European Union. The government, academia, and private sector focus on innovation, advanced technology, and research and development. Thanks to their close collaboration, the country has witnessed many innovations in the key sectors, which I will talk about in a little bit. The country ranked 32nd, the most competitive country in the world. It scored well in macroeconomic stability, human capital, and innovation capability. The Standard & Poor's credit ratings stands at AA. According to the Global Peace Index, the country scored the 8th safest country in the world. So, when it comes to opening a business, foreign legal entities are allowed to do business under the same conditions as Czech companies. There are 4 legal forms of companies, including LLC and joint stock companies. The taxation system has been harmonized with the European Union legislation, and overall, the current taxes are lower than the average of the European Union. So as I already mentioned, the country has advanced infrastructure, which is considered one of the best in Central and Eastern Europe. Its central location makes it a major transit country and has direct highway connection to Germany, Poland, and Austria. One of the densest railway networks in Europe can be also found in the Czech Republic. So speaking of connections, you can get to most European cities within 2 hours by plane. And these are all the direct connections that are going from Prague. The Prague airport also offers direct flights outside Europe. As tourism and exports grew, new connections to China, South Korea, Canada, and the United States were added. So these are the 5 sectors I would like to focus on today. Aerospace, automotive, advanced engineering, information and communication technology, and life sciences. So aerospace, going back to flying, let's move to this sector. The aviation industry has over 100 years of tradition. The proven quality and reliability combined with the innovation strengthen the Czech position in the global market. The Czech Republic is one of the only 7 countries in the world that can make an aircraft in-house, from design to a complete aircraft. What's moving the sector forward is the cooperation between the public and private sector in the research and development area and exchanging knowledge at the international and national level. Companies such as Honeywell or GE have invested in the country. GE Aviation has opened global headquarters for its most advanced turboprop engine near Prague, investing over $350 million. The Czech Republic also plays an important role in the navigation system. The Galileo system, the global navigation satellite system, is operated from Prague. Okay. Another traditional industry with a long history and proven success is the automotive industry. It leverages all the advantages I mentioned before. It's a strategic location, great infrastructure, and skilled workforce. The country has become one of the leading centers for design and research and development, thanks to the advanced level of engineering, support of the academia and government. Automotive is the largest industry in the Czech Republic. There are 3 major car makers: Škoda Auto, which is a Czech car producer founded in 1895 that exports cars to over 100 countries around the world. Then TPCA and Hyundai, which altogether they produce over 1.4 million cars a year, out of which 80% were exported. So as you can already see, manufacturing plays a major role in the Czech Republic. It has shown rapid growth. Advanced engineering is no exception. It has significantly transformed over the last 25 years due to globalization and technological progress. The country offers well-educated and cost-effective engineers. The average labor cost saving range from 40 to 60% compared to Western Europe or the United States. Czech companies are able to create sophisticated components which made the Czech Republic the world's 2nd most specialized in industrial machinery and equipment. 85% of manufactured products are being exported. Besides foreign companies like Siemens or Bosch, other Czech companies have been successful in the global market. Dynex Laboratories, a Czech company, is a leader in the immunology field. It designs and manufactures diagnosis machines that are used in laboratories around the world. Another successful Czech company, Linet, is a leading global supplier of hospital beds. The next sectors that are receiving a lot of attention and investment are information and communication technologies, including data centers, artificial intelligence, and gaming industry. The ICT sector has grown rapidly to the point that the Czech Republic has become one of Europe's top locations for ICT investments and received projects from the world's top ICT companies. The Czech Republic is one of the top centers in the world for development of security software, computer games, and intelligence software for cardiac stimulators. It ranks second in the world in the National Cybersecurity Index. The Czech Republic is home of Avast, a Czech company that is the second largest anti-malware provider in the world with over 400 million users. You might have heard about Ysoft, a software company, or Social Bakers, a social media marketing company powered by artificial intelligence. Czech developers also contributed to the advancement of virtual reality. A Czech VR company called VRgineers introduced the first VR headset in the world with a technology that allows its users to align their eyes with the headset view. It's being used in the automotive industry by companies such as BMW, Volkswagen, or Porsche. You also might have heard about Beat Saber, the world's most successful VR game featured at Jimmy Fallon's show. The game was developed by a Czech startup, and after reaching global success, it was bought by Facebook last year. There is also a new initiative called Prague Artificial Intelligence, which plans to support the growth in the industry and develop Prague as a world-class artificial intelligence superhub. Global companies such as Microsoft, Skype, or BMI or Oracle have already invested or established offices in the Czech Republic. Last but not least, the Czech Republic excels in life sciences. It has achieved a worldwide success with several inventions and discoveries. Scientist Gregor Mendel, called the father of modern genetics, laid down the fundamental law of inheritance. Other inventions, such as soft contact lenses or anti-HIV drugs, were discovered by Czech scientists. Europe's largest organ transplant center is located in Prague. Czech researchers are recognized around the world in the field of molecular genetics, immunology, cardiology, or medical applications of nanotechnologies. In response to the COVID pandemic, one of the US companies moved production of COVID vaccines near Prague. Starting next year, they plan to produce 1 billion COVID vaccines a year. So as you can see, the Czech Republic has a lot to offer, and it's a great place if you're looking for research or development facilities, also suppliers or places to invest. The manufacturing and engineering tradition go across many industries and combine it with modern technologies. To show you how the sectors work together to create unique products, I would like to show you the example of Czech company called Lasvit and their lightning project from this year. So let's have a look.
There's something extraordinary about the project.
It seemed like such a almost crazy idea to create something the world has not seen before.
Myslím, že se rozklidí daleko od toho, že vlastně něco takového po nás může zákazník vůbec chtít.
Něco, co vlastně nikdo na světě ještě neinstaloval a nerealizoval.
The client wanted something one of a kind, something remarkable, the largest chandelier in the world.
Two dragons inside the atrium of a casino in the middle of the Pacific on Saipan Island, each of them on a scale that the world has not seen before. Each of them was a length of 50 meters with a very strict weight limit of 20 pounds per dragon. And on top of that, all of that is in the earthquake area with frequent typhoons.
V tomto směru bylo nutné vymyslet úplně jiné řešení.
Takový řešení byl stručný, který nám umožní, aby to bylo vzdušný, obrovský, ale lehký. Ta celá konstrukce je určitým způsobem pružná. Kolem 7 stupňů Richterovy škály, což už je devastační zemětřesení, teprve dojde, že se rozlomí ten drak na těch závěsech, určitě pořád by nespadly ty závěsy.
To byl asi jako největší wow efekt, co za mě tam na tom bylo, jak jsme viděli celou tu konstrukci pověšenou. Tam si teprve člověk uvědomil, co to vlastně je za neskutečný kolos.
Chvíli nám trvalo, než jsme zjistili, že si musíme hrát s každým detailem draka, jako se samostatným šperkem.
The installation is actually the biggest tool piece in the world.
Nový drak je poskládán z 13 000 šupin, které jsou vypleteny ručně z Swarovského krystalu.
When we saw what Leslie was prepared to do and we were blown away, we knew that's what we wanted.
Táně tam použila krásný dropsy, který si regulárně používají, se dají náušnice. 1 250 000 žen by muselo sundat ty náušnice, aby jsme měli pokrytý oba draky.
I think that Lasvit is probably one of the only companies in the world that could do this level of detail.
Pak ještě úplně klíčová věc, která tam byla, z čeho se vytvoří ty fousy. Ty fousy jsou ohromný.
Vlastně nejdelší fous tam má 6,5 metru.
Ten fous musí být samonosný, tudíž musí být lehký.
Po několika pokusech obnovech přišli na způsob, jakou si udělat drátěná konstrukce obalená nekonečným páskem plíšků.
Je dobře, že vidíte i ten detail, že to vlastně z malinkatých šupinek, to znamená tak jako to zvíře, když si vezmete potom nějakýho varana, tak on má taky šupiny na těle velký. A pak mu koukáte na ty dráty a on prostě má na těch nožičkách takový malinkatý šupinky.
The whole dragon is just enormous, and the components we made in the studio for it are huge as well. We're incredibly fortunate to have such amazing glass workers who are able to work with this size.
Once we go from design stage into the engineering part, it was very important for us not to alter the design because of technical requirements. Instead, we pushed for the limits of the technical possibilities.
Chtěli jsme klientovi dopřát zajímavý produkt. To znamená, že vlastně můžeme počítačem ovládat jakýkoliv let šip místních projektů a tím vlastně dostaneme takovou velkou obrazovku. Tato obrazovka má 300 000 let šipů. Celková plocha povrchu draka, kterou vlastně pobarvujeme, má plochu 700 m². Naše klasická televize doma je placatá, když to máme vlastně zakřivenou televizní obrazovku.
It's the desire for a beautiful visual element that can stand on its own, but can also change over time, so that for guests that come repeatedly, it's a little bit different every time.
What makes this project so extraordinary is the installation of something this large.
Protože jsme řešili věci, jak vůbec zvednout betonový díly v místnosti, která vlastně už je hotová. Během té instalace, která trvala 6 měsíců, čtvrtinu času, jsme se pohybovali vevnitř, v těch dracích, kde se byli zavřené uvnitř koupajícího se draka. Nastávaly i situace, kdy jsme zápasili s mořskou nemocí.
Můžu říct, že jsem nemohl mluvit, když jsem přišel do té místnosti. Tam musíte vidět, protože to se nedá popsat.
And a one of a kind you won't see anywhere else in the world.
Great. So I hope that you all have a better idea about the Czech Republic, about the business environment and companies, the Czech companies, and I hope we'll be able to help you, connect you all around the world through the Global Chamber. Oh, Chris, you're on mute.
Thank you so much, Monika, for your presentation. We had some questions that came in on the chat side. I'm going to ask one question as you talk back to the people from your country. How has the country been impacted from the COVID-19? That was one question that was also raised by Doug Brunke, our founder.
So yeah, I mean, the situation at the very beginning, the government handled everything pretty well. I mean, there were a lot of restrictions and the cases were very low. Right now, as we can see all around the world, the situation is evolving every day. So, but yes, it definitely affected the tourism. I mean, also the travel, I mean, flying, and this industry was hit very hard. However, on the other side, a lot of companies, as I already mentioned, the ones that are, you know, focusing on genetics or even manufacturing vaccines or different protections as respirators and everything, they came together to just really quickly react, and they were actually able to create a new respirator, which was actually approved by the FDA. So it's put in used.
So very innovative place. I noted that you said that there was number 2 or second in the National Cybersecurity Index developers. Well, San Antonio is, it's called Military City, USA. And I've also followed some of other chambers who've had cyber initiatives. Is there any possible relationships that could be built with the national cybersecurity type of businesses in the Czech Republic with those in San Antonio, perhaps?
Absolutely. So there's actually a Czech company who moved their headquarters from the Czech Republic to San Antonio, and they also focus on IT. So, and yeah, San Antonio, as you mentioned, is great in cybersecurity. We have great talent here, a lot of students, and really great infrastructure. So I hope we'll see more cooperation between San Antonio and Prague.
I also noted that in your automotive slide, there was some reference to, I think it was Toyota.
Mm-hmm.
And so we also have a Toyota manufacturing plant here in San Antonio. So again, we might be able to come back to have a special, focused conversation on Czech Republic and Toyota, or Czech Republic in that the company that recently relocated to San Antonio. For aerospace, are there regional organizations to consider joining to connect with that you're aware of? And what countries are important related ones for this segment, perhaps Poland and Hungary?
Yes, there is also cooperation between Slovakia. Also, Slovakia has a great universities. They're focusing on aerospace. So, and absolutely in the whole region, the Central and Eastern European region, there's a lot of opportunities to cooperate.
Would you please comment on the political stability? And then also, you also had a nice slide that talked about business formations. Well, can you comment about the cost and ease of setting up a new business, and how does that compare with others, for instance, the United States?
So opening a business, it's pretty easy. It's not as fast compared to the United States. I mean, United States is one of the easiest country to open a business, or to make it a really fast LLC companies, or whichever. So, yeah, it's Czech Republic is really friendly towards investments, and also yeah, establishing new companies. Also, the taxes are pretty in favor. I mentioned the average taxes are lower than the European Union. The corporate tax is 19%. So what is something that Czech Republic could improve in the process it's the bureaucratic process. If it can take maybe a little bit less, or getting all the certifications, that would definitely help.
And I'm sorry, I did say up front, political stability. Can you just, how stable is Czech Republic now? So, yeah, I love this slide that you showed where you went through the history of the former naming and how we got to Czech Republic, but how stable is the government?
So right now, yeah, after all the development throughout the years, throughout the centuries, and now it's very stable. It's yes, I mentioned before, it was a centrally planned economy. So yes, ever since the Velvet Revolution and during the 90s, the country became a free market economy. So the political environment is one of the, I would say, the most stable in the Central and Eastern Europe.
So can you please talk about collaboration between business and universities and government? How fluent is that there in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, so I mean, Czech Republic has a really long history of universities. So it has actually one of the oldest university, I believe, in Europe or in Central Europe, the Charles University, which was founded in 14th century. So those universities, what's the great thing about Czech Republic, that the private sector, also the academia and government, they come together to support the research and development and all the innovation. So it's yeah, there is an opportunity to share what's learned or developed at universities, and then it can be applied in the actual industry. So this works really well with Škoda cars. So with the automotive industry, which they do have their program, their studies program, and they do apply this in their production every day.
Are you aware of any trade agreements that Czech Republic is currently in, for instance, with Europe or with the U.S., China, and other key countries?
Absolutely. So within the European Union, as you could already see, that Czech Republic is really oriented to export. So it does, most of the export goes within European Union. So outside the European Union, there was an initiative actually to create a free trade agreement between the United States and the European Union, that it actually didn't go through, but that's something which would be very, very beneficial for the European Union and for the United States, if in the future they can come together, because there are some different regulations, or just kind of like harmonize everything, which would boost European Union and also the economy here in the United States.
So I want to now shift back to San Antonio. Can you please share with us more about your story here in San Antonio and the company that you represent?
Sure. So As you mentioned, I am with Inclusive Surrogacy. So we are a surrogacy agency. We're located here in San Antonio, Texas. We help intended parents who are dealing with infertility or who cannot have babies for whatever reason. And we help them to find the right surrogate for them who carries the baby for them. So we help with the legal part, with the medical part. So we're also very closely related to the healthcare and medical industry here in San Antonio.
You have a slide that you want to share with us, and if you do, I'll let you show it. I can also show another slide going back to our International State of the Metro event coming up. It's your option.
Yeah, go ahead. You can share.
Okay. All right, so I'll share again our event that's coming up because it's a great time for the people who are on. If you haven't already signed up, we have the International State of the Metro. I'd like to thank the City of San Antonio. They became presidential sponsors to this event and to the Global Chamber San Antonio events in the region. And it's going to be great to hear the mayor speak about where we are going as an international city, as an international metro. And we're looking forward to that. Additionally, we're also going to be honoring and recognizing a global brand, the San Antonio Spurs Sports and Entertainment. Truly, it's a brand that's known all over the world. And then also we have the San Antonio Business Journal. They've been very good with documenting and telling the story of the San Antonio business community, and we want to recognize them. We also have an expert, Peter Grabick, who has been serving the Global Chamber board in so many different capacities. And we want to say thank you to him, as well as our founder, Dr. Crystal Nedio. So I plugged our event. It's on globalchamber.org. Sign up under the events tab, and we look forward to getting you all involved with that. Now back to Monika. So you came up with this brainchild with me to have this type of networking opportunity. And so I look forward to working with you over the months ahead. And we're going to bring in other European businesses that are in San Antonio so they can tell their story as a part of their Global Chamber membership. And we want to focus on those areas of the world where these international populations exist here. And so thank you for taking the leadership to say yes, and we will do this. So thank you. I'm going to turn back to you to talk more about your company. Actually, Laura said, please, can she expand more about her business? And so Laura, I guess, is a support of yours, but go ahead, you have time.
Awesome. So yeah, as I already mentioned, we do work with international couples. We are located here in San Antonio, Texas. We work with other providers or agencies. We collaborate in Europe, in Spain, in Israel, in Mexico. So yeah, we really try to help as many couples as we can, and just make the big process, the complex process, easier for them.
Okay. So I think we went through all the questions. And I really like to thank everyone that has attended our very first international networking event that we're hosting from Global Chamber, focusing on Europe. If you have other areas that you think you would like to see, you can enter into the chat area so I can see it. I'm very easy to reach. You can reach me at christopher@globalchamber.org. And again, we are grateful for the time that we've been able to spend. The next time that we do assemble, we are planning on having a breakout of our participants. And so that's the next evolution of this. We'll try to segment the group so that you can all meet each other, which is really what networking is. So don't think that we didn't forget. Today was really our pilot show, and I think that it went over well. Monika gave a great presentation with great information. I'd like to thank you again. And we're also going to do this with Africa. We have an African group that we're going to, not only do we have within the Global Chamber, but I've been very grateful to have advisors that work with me and in this pursuit. And I'm going to actually share, another slide with you. So share a screen. So Jean Patrick is from Cote d'Ivoire. He was a part of the Mandela Fellows Program when we actually hosted here in San Antonio 25 African young business leaders. And we hosted 2 years of the Mandela Fellows Program. And so I had the fortune of bringing 50 participants to San Antonio. And we're now going to connect back with those alumni. And my deputy director of Global Chamber, Joel Inglu, is also from Congo. And he's going to help me to facilitate getting more panelists that will take part in this discussion series. There's so many different things in which we should know that I don't know, but I'm looking at this opportunity again to provide very good information like we heard today, like we saw today. Again, I'd like to thank the leadership of Global Chamber, Doug Brunke, Cesar, thank you so much for keeping the wheels going on this very important bus, this bus that's bringing so much information to the rest of the world. So thank you again, and y'all have a great day, as we say in Texas. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chris. Bye.